Here's more wrestling news for July 15th, 2021. And your headlines for this afternoon include Texas Deathmatch announced for next week's AEW Dynamite Fyter Fest. Darby Allin wins an insane Coffin match at Fyter Fest 2021. Why fans are unhappy with Christian Cage and Matt Hardy. AEW changes look of TNT title. Multiple accounts of abuse and torture led to wrestler's arrest. Sonny trademarks WWE name and reveals first appearance. Roman Reigns reveals how he was able to thrive even without fans in attendance, and more. We're starting with AEW Dynamite as Jon Moxley retained his IWGP US title against Carl Anderson this week, but won't have long to savor this victory. Next week, Moxley will defend the title against Lance Archer, the same man he beat for the gold over a year ago. And like before, this will be a Texas Deathmatch. That match has been confirmed for Night 2 of Fyter Fest, which will air next week from Garland, Texas. Hopefully this deathmatch goes better than the Revolution dud between Moxley and Kenny Omega earlier this year, and time will tell whether the Murderhawk Monster can recapture the title he lost to Moxley in Tokyo back in October 2019. As for this week's show, Night 1 of Fyter Fest saw an incredible Coffin match that Darby Allin got the win in. Facing Ethan Page, the match saw plenty of offense from both men, including a great spot where Allin opened the Coffin just to see Page's tag partner Scorpio Sky waiting for him. Sky was taken out by Sting, and the match got even more violent from there, with Page hitting an Ego's Edge from the top rope onto the steel steps in the ring. It was ultimately Allin's skateboard that made the difference as he landed on Page's back from the top rope, causing All Ego to fall into the Coffin, giving Darby the victory. With his multi-month feud with Page seemingly over, Allin could be moving on to bigger things, with Miro's TNT title being the most predictable direction. With so much momentum, it's possible, albeit unlikely, that Allin could face Sting in a passing of the torch moment, but that'd require the Stinger to be in his best physical condition. Whatever's next, Allin has a ton of momentum, and the sky's the limit for the talented 28-year-old wrestler. Fyter Fest also saw Christian Cage face Matt Hardy in a match that fans thought was okay, but had its problems. It's not that the match was bad, but the veterans of the ring were much slower than the rest of the card, and for a show that moves at 1,000,000 miles per hour, this change of pace stood out like a sore thumb. At 47 and 46 respectively, Christian and Matt Hardy put on a match that most performers their age could only dream of, but the pair stood out with their slow pace on a lightning-quick show. More from AEW as Miro has been a dominant TNT champion since winning the gold from Darby Allin, and now the title has been given another facelift. Appearing on Night 1 of Fyter Fest, Miro cut a promo, and fans couldn't help but notice the white and green redesign of the TNT Championship. This is technically the fourth design of the TNT title since it debuted 16 months ago, and we'll have to see how long this new design lasts and whether the next champion will get a new look for the title too. Now last month, Aaron Frobel, aka Michael Elgin, was reported missing and was later discovered, much to everyone's relief. We now have an unfortunate update on this matter, as our sources have confirmed that Frobel was arrested on June 29th and charged with violating a protective order, and that the case is currently being investigated. This order of protection was filed on May 21st by his ex-fiancée, who we'll refer to as Alex, after she was forced to flee her home, citing emotional, verbal, mental, and physical harm. In the protective order, Alex insists that she had planned to leave a few times, but backed out, and has received hundreds of calls, text messages, videos, and threats from Frobel. She also claims that he would create fake numbers to contact her, often pretending to be friends and family of hers to keep in contact. The order adds, "Since I've been in a relationship with the respondent, I have suffered sexual, mental, emotional, and verbal abuse from him. Abuse included punishment for saying no to sex, berating me verbally in public, berating me verbally in private, isolating me from my friends and family, monitoring my phone and computer to see if I am complying, extreme control, sexual caretaking, pressure to engage in sex acts I expressed not wanting to do, exposing my sexual health by seeing male and female sex workers during our relationship, insulting and shaming me, intimidation." Alex claims that Frobel also used fake numbers to pretend to be people from her past who would say terrible things about her, which she argues was part of his plan to keep her under his control. She also notes that Frobel violated the protective order over 60 times before his June 29th arrest and has been claiming mental health issues as a defense for his actions. Alex said she wants her story out there to prevent this happening to anyone else, and added, "I respect everyone's sexuality, but it should be noted that men and women are people he goes after, not only women. The warning is for everyone, not just women. He used threats of suicide many times after I left. A couple of girls have reached out to me since I left and told me the same stories, as Frobel's ex-wife Rachel can tell you as well. He's continuing to threaten suicide as a manipulation tactic." When our source attempted to get a response from Frobel, he didn't respond, and this isn't the first time claims like this have been made against the former New Japan star. Last year, Frobel faced claims of misconduct with others, and independent wrestler Caitlin Diamond alleges that he sent her unsolicited photos of himself. This reportedly led to a fight backstage during an Impact taping in August 2020 between Elgin and Sami Callihan, which had to be broken up by Impact's executive Scott D'Amore. Before the fight broke out, the pair were discussing an upcoming match with Ken Shamrock, and not long after, Impact announced that Elgin wouldn't be appearing on their programming. Elgin had been appearing for New Japan, but not so much in recent memory, and we'll keep monitoring this very serious situation for any updates. Last month, WWE Hall of Famer Tammy Sytch was released from prison and has made it clear she plans to return to OnlyFans, where she was making a killing before her release. According to Heel by Nature, part of Sytch's plans post-incarceration include becoming Sunny once more. As they report, she filed the paperwork to trademark the name last week. Not only that, but the original diva of wrestling is getting back on the indie scene, as Absolute Intense Wrestling have confirmed that Sytch will be at their September 10th show in Cleveland. Sytch lost a ton of followers on OnlyFans when she was locked up last year, and between taking bookings and filing the paperwork for the Sunny name, it certainly looks like the controversial Hall of Famer is looking to stay out of prison from now on. And we're ending with Roman Reigns, who has been doing his best work ever since turning heel last summer, despite the lack of a live crowd. Speaking to Forbes this week, Reigns explained how he's excelled as a bad guy with no audience, saying wrestling is all about trying to create a moment, and that is far easier when there's a crowd to bounce off of. He added, "For me, not having that portion of the performance, crowd reactions, to lean on really showed me how important the bridges of continuity are. The small details, the nuances of storytelling, and the subtle pieces of information that can bridge the gap between huge moment to huge moment." Reigns added that it's been especially important to get his new character to work without a live crowd, as WWE has no off-season, and his new character has had to evolve every single week. Reigns has had just one match with live fans since turning heel, and given the chorus of boos he received at WrestleMania 37, it's safe to say that the Tribal Chief will continue to excel as a bad guy when fans return this Friday. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.